Welcome back to MMA Al Dente. I am the guy who is sitting in the middle of a crowded parking lot talking to himself in his car with the interior lights on. I'm a bona fide YouTube jerk-off, and that's what I look like to all these people. A YouTube jerk-off. That's where I'm at in life. And also, I smell like shit. They don't know that, all these people. I got the windows up, but that'll just be our little secret. I smell like shit. And I'm here to talk about Cody Durden versus Matt Schnell. Cody Durden is taking this fight on very, very short notice. Credit to him. And that's part of the reason why I'm picking Matt Schnell to win. It's not with the most confidence, because, of course, Matt Schnell's chin, I'd say, is the biggest weakness in any matchup. And it's one of the biggest weaknesses that you can identify in any solo fighter. Are there duo fighters? What am I talking about? In any fighter, it's one of the biggest weaknesses you could spot on the entire UFC roster, the chin of Matt Schnell. And I think it's definitely something I'll be looking to bet on, Cody Durden via knockout, although he's a big favorite, so that may not work so well as a hedge. But I'm definitely betting on Matt Schnell. I've already bet on him, a small bet at plus 250. But I'll look for the props because I think if he wins, it's much more likely to be by submission. And I say that being fully aware that Cody Durden was knocked out 5 weeks ago or something. He was knocked out very recently against Bruno Silva. And of course, he's taken the fight on short notice and blah, blah, blah. So I guess submission isn't a definite lock because Schnell could have cardio advantages, which makes him more of a viable decision threat, because typically Cody Durden and any wrestler should be favored to win the decision. But I feel like Schnell could have an advantage in cardio. I think on the feet, Schnell is going to be the more vulnerable guy for sure, again, in any matchup. And Cody Durden does have adequate knockout power. I think his hands are phenomenal. But even though he's not Mr. Knockout, he showed against the one guy with a compromised chin that he fought in the UFC, JP Bays, he showed he can turn into Mr. Knockout if the opportunity presents itself. And this is another opportunity. You know, I'm sure he's going to be gunning for the chin. I know he and his team are fully aware of the weakness of Matt Schnell. But if he doesn't knock him out, and Schnell does have 3 inches of reach and an inch of height to complement him here. But if he doesn't knock out Matt Schnell is a technical match for Cody on the feet. He's incredibly slick, Schnell. Not so aggressive, but, you know, he's maybe a little more comfortable on the back foot, but really tight striking. Tight and sharp, not too powerful. I should mention, though, he's got a few knockouts himself, Matt Schnell. Over dog shit competition mainly as a pro, but he got a few, and they're not just TKOs, they're legit knockouts, and I believe a few as an amateur. Could be wrong about that, I don't know, but I've seen him get knockouts. I know he can get it done, and he is fighting a guy who theoretically should be compromised, stepping off the couch after being knocked out 5 weeks ago or 6 weeks ago. So, it makes me more confident in my pick on bet and my pick on Matt Schnell. The circumstances, the cardio potentially could swing in Schnell's favor. The knockout should definitely go to Cody Durden, but I think Schnell, if he's landing technical hooks and fighting a guy who's even half compromised, it could happen. You never know, and he could also club and sub him, as Muhammad Makayev did against Cody Durden. That means clip his chin and then choke him out. And also just straight up on the ground. Matt Schnell against a wrestler, and Cody Durden, he can advance and whatever, but he can be more of a rider and a grinder as well. And I think there'll be opportunities in this matchup technically for Matt Schnell to lace up a choke with his arms or his legs against Cody Durden. Schnell is particularly good off his back. He's got an excellent guard. It's his best threat as a submission artist, which is not something you could say for most fighters. And I think he's just got a lot going on here in this matchup, circumstantially and technically, and spiritually. I don't know. I was trying to look for another adverb there. But I think he's got a lot going on, and I'm siding with Matt Schnell. I've got him at plus 250. It's not the biggest bet because, again, he's got the biggest weakness in the whole sport. I will look to bet on Cody Durden via knockout because I think that's definitely his primary path to victory. But I might not bet on it if it's not worth it. But I can say, based on the money line of Matt Schnell, any prop of his will be worth it. And I think submission is the way to go. I'd lean submission for sure for Matt Schnell over any other method of victory. So I'll be playing this one every which fucking way, like I do with every fight. But the pick is the underdog, Matt Schnell. I think he's got a lot going for him here, and I'm playing him at plus 250. And when he gets knocked out on Saturday night, rub it in my face, because I deserve it. I've been all over Matt Schnell's chin since Hector Sandoval knocked him out in one of his first few UFC fights. And now here I am, picking him to win. But, yeah, I think a lot of Matt Schnell and his skills. And every now and then, the chin just isn't the story of the fight. Like, share, subscribe, all that horse shit. Check out my other videos.